take care of it. Resident Evil.
Welcome back once again, folks. When we left off, we had just gotten to a building that the game refers to as the Residence. This is the first major building structure you encounter after you leave the mansion. We got here last video, but I didn't want to dive into it until this one because I'd like to try to get through this whole thing in one video, because it seems the Residence and an underground area that we'll be encountering here in a few minutes seems like a really large area, but it's really not. It's very small. There's just a lot of crap that you have to do inside, you know, so it's like the mansion, only more condensed. But we can get through this in a decent length video, so I'd like to keep it all in one. So we just got here. I haven't done anything since we walked in the door, so let's pick up this stuff on the floor here. Take the first aid spray, even though I've yet to use the first aid spray. And the battery pack. And in here we got another kerosene jug, so we're going to fill up our flask. We'll drop off the crank, we don't need it. I'll take the canteen there because I'm going to fill it up. Going to drop off the ink ribbon, go ahead and drop this off, we don't need it. We'll fill up our canteen, but we don't need to carry it with us. We're just going to fill it up and turn around and put it right back in here. We'll need it when we go back to the mansion in a little bit, but not now. And this is really all we need. Just a shotgun, some rounds, and that's it. So let's head out and dive right in. There's some things inside the Residence that can poison you, much like the snakes we encountered on the way here. If you get poisoned anywhere in here and you need to find a place to use a blue herb and you don't know where one is, always remember that you can just come right out here, right next to the entrance, and there's 3 right there for you anytime you need to use them. The first place we want to go is right in here. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that there are 2 huge spiders in this room, including one that's right close to home when you enter the door. But don't panic. You see there, the other one's on the ceiling right above our heads here. Or just don't panic. The one above the ceiling, above our heads, he really doesn't come after you. Take this red book. I'm going to ignore that first aid spray because I don't need it. But he doesn't really come after you until you go up to the very 3rd floor, and we don't need anything up there, so we're not going to go. We just got to get past this stupid spider. And around we go. Ah, you stupid. I almost made it. I could have went right out the door without getting touched. But once again, I got mixed up with my controls. Let me make sure I didn't get poisoned. Yeah, I'm good. And that's it for that room. Now, inside that room, you'll notice, for people that want to kill the spiders and explore, that there are a few lamps scattered around, and when you light the lamps, it shows a shadow that has a specific shape, right? And then you make notes of those shapes, then you compare them with some pool balls that are on the pool tables up on the very top floor that we didn't get to, and it's a very abstract way to give you the solution to a key code that we're going to need later on down the game. And it's kind of random. Every time you play the game, the key code is different, so it's not always the same number. But you notice that I didn't bother with any of that. That's because when we get there, I'm going to show you the easiest way to figure out that without having to worry about lighting those stupid lamps, looking at the pool balls, any of that stuff. So just remember that when we get to the code room and you're like, how would we know how to do this? It was in that room. We're just going to skip it because I know an easier way. In this hallway here, you see the hole there in the floor? You want to cover it up with this box, because underneath there's a huge, like, mutant plant, and if you try to run past it, and there's another hole right there as you see right in front of her, the arms of the plants, like the tentacles, will reach out and smack you, so you want to cover them up. Then just climb over the boxes, and in this door we go. This is a place where being efficient in your movements really pays off down the line. This is the gallery, but the door's locked. Because if you don't play it right, you could spend a ton of time in here trying to find your way around and figure out what to do. But once you figure it out, you can get in and out of here really fast. And you see here, there's a map on the wall of the residence. We'll take it, even though I don't use maps, really. Or I haven't yet, anyway. I'd still like to take them, just in case. You got the map. There's a hole in the wall here. Don't press the button again. Don't look in the hole in the wall. The reason is, on the other side of this wall, when you look through there, you'll notice that there's a desk right on the other side of that wall. And right above it is a huge hive of bees. I mean, it's monstrous. And as soon as you look through that hole, 2 or 3 bees are going to come through that hole, and they're going to be flying around in this hallway, tormenting the crap out of you the entire time. And it's just not worth it. Just don't even look in there. Instead, we're going to go in room 002.
No, that wasn't part of our deal.
Like I said,
What's
But
this?
it's not necessary to destroy stars.
don't be much better.
What about my family?
I will guarantee their safety.
If I play my cards right.
Wonder what that's about. Guess we're about to find out, because we're going in.
Jill.
Barry, I heard someone talking.
Oh, you heard. I think age is starting to take its toll. Talking to myself is becoming a bad habit.
Talking to yourself? You all right? What's gotten into you?
I'm getting you worried, aren't I?
Yeah, a little.
I'm alright. I guess this creepy mansion has gotten to my nerves. Anyway, I think I'll go outside, get some fresh air for a change.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm just going to get some fresh air. If I'm lucky, I'll get to waste some monsters along the way.
Okay, well that was odd. Let's take a look at these papers here. Plant 42 report. That's the plant I was telling you guys about a few minutes ago. Let's read a little bit about it. 4 days have passed since the accident. The plant at point 42 is growing at an amazing rate. Although there are many unknown aspects about this plant, we know that in comparison with other groups of plants, the T virus has had a substantially stronger effect on this one. I don't know if we've come across it yet, but the T virus is this thing that Umbrella has created that's causing all of these monsters and zombies and things. I think they brush on it in the movies as well. The T-virus has drastically morphed its host anatomy as well as its size. Looking at its current state, it's difficult to imagine its original appearance. Nowhere on Earth will you find anything like it. We've also found that Plant 42 has 2 main sources of acquiring its necessary nutrients. One source is through its root. Shocking, right? Somehow it has rooted itself down in the basement. Why would they say somehow? Roots go down. Of course they'd be in the basement. Anyway, immediately after the accident, a scientist went mad and destroyed the aqua ring. Ever since, the basement's been like a pool. There's a high possibility that it's one of the chemicals in the water that's promoting Plant 42's rapid growth. However, we've yet to determine the specific chemical. A bulb-like body of the Plant 42 has been sighted hanging from the ceiling of the first floor. We are sure that it used the air ducts to reach the first floor. Numerous long tentacle-like vines are protruding from the bulb. And those are the things that'll smack you if you try to run across those holes back in the other hallway. We believe the vines are the second means of acquiring its nutrients. When the Plant 42 senses prey, it uses its tentacle-like vines to capture its prey. After doing so, suckers on the vine drain the prey of its blood. We've also noticed that it has some intelligence. When it captures its prey or when it's inactive, the vines twine around the door to stop possible intruders. Unfortunately, several of our scientists have already fallen victim to this Plant 42. When we heard the stories from the survivors, they all observed one thing in common. When the uniform petal-like flaps open and reveal its vital internals, it has a tendency to become more aggressive. One witness reported that it was as if it was trying to protect itself. Why it behaves the way it does is still unknown. May 21st, 1998. Henry Sarton. Alright, so we learned a little bit about the plant there. Now these bookshelves move. People that have played the original game, this part of it's still the same, but I'm not going to worry with it right now because we don't need to go down there yet. We need to go in this bathroom. Okay. Gonna get this. Oh, I heard a door open. Did you hear that? What the hell was that? Got the key. I heard a door open. I know I did. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot something. I think I need to open the... drain the bathtub. No, maybe not. Okay, well. That's strange. Usually a zombie will open that door sometimes and come into the bathroom out of nowhere. Maybe he's in here. Oh, there he is. Have a seat. Yeah, almost every other time I played it, that zombie's opened the bathroom door and came after me. That's the first time he's kind of stood there. So that makes things a little easier. This key that I got here opens up the door back towards where we came from. So let's go back out. Get to climb over the boxes again. This is something you got to do a few times while you're in the residence here. We go straight across to here. No further use for this key. Discard it. Yes. As always, get rid of the keys and anything else when they say you don't need it, because you literally don't need it for anything else, and it just weighs down your inventory. I like the music in this area. Oh, look at this. And a guy just hanging out. Take these bullets. This self-defense gun is basically a one-shot magnum, which seems to be pretty cool, but it wastes an inventory space, and inventory space is kind of at a premium in this area because I don't want to have to go all the way back out to that save box again. And you can do this whole thing without having to do that, but one of the things that you may need to cut corners at is with this self-defense gun. I don't need it because I don't have much of a problem with combat, so I'm just going to leave this gun here. But for people that are watching that have never tried it before, basically what that is a one-shot magnum. Although I'm not sure how a gun that small can fire a magnum round, but that's what it is. So it can come in handy if you need some heavier firepower, but I'm pretty good with what I got, so I'm going to leave it. Go ahead and take these handgun rounds. Just gonna leave him hanging. And we're going to the bathroom. Okay, dead body on the floor. Uh-oh. Did you guys hear that? I think our friend that was hanging out there is no longer hanging. It's full of dirty water. Pull the plug. Yes, gotta drain the bathtub. There's something inside the tub. Control room key. Will you take it? Most definitely. Now hold slow your roll here because that guy gets up. Okay. Now the guy, our buddy that was hanging outside here, is no longer hanging there. He's walking around, so we're gonna go deal with him. There we go. I don't know if it's necessary to actually take him out because I don't remember if I ever come back in this room or not, but what the hell, right? Take them out. I like killing zombies. Not going to worry about burning them though, because by the time they would become Crimson Heads, if they even do, I'm not even sure if they do, we'll be long gone from this place. Now that we got the control room key, let's go all the way back to where we were a few minutes ago, room 002. That's one thing you'll notice about the residence area and the area that we'll be going to right now, the lower basement area. There's a pretty good bit of backtracking. That's one complaint people had a lot about the first original Resident Evil and many of the earlier games, They thought they were great games, but they felt like there was a lot of backtracking. And it was, you know, it's kind of a nature of the game, especially when you have inventory management and you have to keep things in storage boxes. You find yourself going back and forth a lot. Well, they cleaned that up a little bit with this remake of Resident Evil. As you've noticed, there's not a ton of backtracking, but this was one area where the backtracking problem still kind of remains. There's a ladder here, climb down. So that's all you gotta do is push the shelves out of the way to reveal the ladder. Cool music down here too. That door is locked from the other side, so don't even waste your time with it. Up here, you'll notice there's water here, this channel, and apparently she doesn't have very good ups, so she can't jump across or swim across. But that's what these boxes are for. One box. Box number 2. And this one you gotta do a little extra pushing to get it in position. God, they push the boxes so slowly. I love it when this music, the background music, really kicks in with a low, bassy kind of part. Really spooky. And it really fits this area, particularly in a few minutes when we get into an area that's got water in it. And that's 3. Let's go across our makeshift bridge and carry on. We're gonna leave that there. I don't really need it. Well, you know what? I'll go ahead and take it. I'm gonna take this green herb, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. I don't even know if I need it, but the spider did kind of halfway tap me. So if he did any damage at all, then that fixed it up. And here we go. This little section isn't all that dangerous, but it still unnerves me. It always has. Uh-oh. You're about to see why. Sharks! Run. Just haul ass here. Don't waste your bullets on these stupid sharks. If they bite you, just shake it off. Keep running. Cut across here. Run around this circular thing. Up the stairs. Then you'll be safe. In the door. There's another door down there to the right. But we want to go to the control room, as you've seen here. That's where the key goes. Discard the key and go inside. There's another door that you can get through in that large area. And it's actually where the root of that plant is, plant 42. But we don't want to go there right now because we don't have the proper thing to use in that room. So just skip it and follow the path that I took just so you can get straight here. I'm on caution. But yeah, don't waste any time screwing around with those sharks. Just haul ass into here, because we're about to take care of those sharks right now. If you look through the window, you can see them swimming around. See them? Here's a kiss. Okay. First thing you want to do is run over here to the side and get the map. There's a map of the Aqua Ring. Take it? Yes. Now once you got the map, come over here to this whiteboard and let's read it. Caution, in case of a drop of oil pressure control, open valve number 1. You want to make a note of what valve it tells you to do. I think it's kind of randomized, I think. But even if it is or it isn't, come over here and double check. And we want to remember that if there's a problem with oil pressure, we want to open valve number 1. Which, by the way, is out here. There's the valves. I'm not gonna, you know what? I am gonna pick this up. Normally I wouldn't pick it up, but since I'm on caution, hell, I might as well. We'll open this up. This is a mixture of 2 green herbs. And we'll use it. Okay. Now the first thing we want to do is come over here, press these controls. The controls for the main system. Everything seems to be in proper working order. I'm in over here. This is where we want to go. An error message is being displayed. Something appears to have gone wrong while the water was being drained. There's a switch to drain the water. Press it. Yes, we do want to press it. And this is a room where it can get kind of confusing because you're just kind of running back and forth between the same two consoles. Even I get confused from time to time like I did a second ago. But this is where you want to start. Go ahead and press it to try to drain the water. Oh. Hello.
Emergency. Unknown source of pressure detected. Locking all doors to achieve maximum safety.
Alright, now we gotta get this fixed. Now we come over to this one. The pressure shelter is locked. Release the safety? Yes. The safety mechanism for the pressure shelter has been released. Now we run over here to try to lower the gates. There's a control lever for the pressure shelter. Pull it? Yes. The shields start to drop.
Reaching 30% of pressure threshold.
Oil pressure lost. Shelter operation terminated. Restore oil pressure, then release the safety. Remember the oil? So we're gonna go out here. Ooh, there's that damn shark again. We want to use these switches control the oil pressure valves. Press which switch? We want number 1. Now just come back out and do the exact same 2 things again. 3 things, I guess it would be.
50% of pressure threshold.
Let's release the safety. Again. Let's go over here.
Activate emergency drainage system immediately.
Try to lower this again. And this time it should go all the way down. And it does. Here, so now we won't get crushed or killed by the shark. Now we're back over here. We'll try to drain the water once more. Safety has been released. Drain the water? Yes. The water has been completely drained. And those sharks have now been completely neutered. Alright, now we want to go this way. Down the steps and out this door. Alright, there's a door right there to our left. But we don't want to go in that one yet. We want to come down here towards the camera. I'm gonna run over here and grab these. I always get these. Any kind of grenade launcher ammo, never pass it up. And go through this door. We'll hit up that other door later. You see, now we're out here where those stupid sharks were. You know, put him out of his misery. And there's the big guy. Neptune is his name. When you run in the water next to this thing, there's like the vibrations like a heartbeat. I guess the increased tension, but it's kind of creepy. See something flashing here? Looks like a key. Oh, great. You just knocked him into the water. Needless to say, you're not getting in that water and getting to that key with him still around. But here's the trick. Push the control panel into the water. Then pull the lever, the generator unit for the water flow control system. Pull it. Yep. And we'll fry him up. Night-night, Neptune. Now we'll go over here and get the key that he knocked into the water, right over here. Will you take the residence key? Most definitely. That's the gallery key for that door that we skipped earlier. That's back upstairs, which is where we're about to head. Skip that stupid shark. You know, I think it's an interesting question. It's whether you should shoot the shark or not, because they clearly attack you when they're in the water, but after you drain the water, they're kind of helpless laying there. So you can shoot them without any chance of getting hurt, or you could just let them live, like out of mercy. But is it mercy to let a shark kind of flop there and die slowly? I think I usually just shoot them, mostly out of revenge, but it's an interesting moral question. Straight up, we'll take these Magnum rounds, most definitely. Yeah. Up the ladder. You unlocked it. This door is going to come out at the spot when we first arrived out here where I said the door was locked from the other side, not to even bother with it. You see here, this is where we popped out. We're going to go all the way back out. We're not quite done with this area yet, but the large part of the bottom area is done. Okay, let's head out of here. Damn it, there's me getting myself confused. Alright, here we go. Over to the gallery we go. Which is back here, in this door here. No further use for the key, let's throw it away. Now there are bees in here, and the bees are the first thing you want to take care of. They're the bees I was telling you about if you look through that hole in the wall. Well, this is where they are. We'll get the ammo here in a minute. When you come around here, see the bees come out? Go down this hallway, investigate this body. A corpse with a contorted expression of pain on his face. He's holding something. Will you take the insecticide spray? I most definitely will. Now get the hell out of here. Dodge the bees as best you can, and just run back out the door. We're gonna deal with those guys first. Makes it a lot easier to move around in here. Plus it lets us be able to get to a very important item that's right underneath their hive. Run back over to this hole in the wall I was telling you about, and use the insecticide spray. And the bees are dropping like flies. Alright, we go back in. Now we can go in and out of here without having to worry about those stupid bees. I don't even think they do much damage. They just drive you nuts, like the pros. Now I'll grab these bullets. Yes, I will take it. Head down here where this guy was. He's still there, shockingly. His face is all jacked up too. We should get a good camera angle. There it is. See his face? It's all like swollen. Wonder who that guy was. And here you see the big ass hive, nest, whatever you want to call it. But in here is the residence key, which is what we need. Ugh. I know they're all dead, but I still don't like to be around them. I'm not a big fan of bees and wasps, folks. Hornets, none of that shit. Don't like it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here because this is the key that we got. And we'll discard it. This is room 003, by the way. Let's go in the bathroom. There's not a whole hell of a lot in this bathroom, but I think there's a defensive item in here. And like I said, there's no reason to never grab one of those, so I don't think there's an enemy in here or anything. Damn it. It's full of dirty water. Pull the plug? Yes. There's something in the tub. Will you take the dagger? Yes. And that's it, but you can see here the roots in the wall. Remnants of plant 42. Or evidence of his presence, at least. Or her. Well, maybe plants aren't him or her. Its. Maybe its presence is the word. The flashing light there is just an ink ribbon. As you can see there. Not going to worry about it. Guys, remember way back in that first room with the big spiders, we picked up the red book. Well, this is where we get rid of it. As you see here, we've got all these red books and one white book. So, I wonder where our red book goes. There's one white book. Let's take it. Let's take a reading. Let's read this here and see what it says. Organic Chemistry Lab Experiment. The similarities in the cellular characteristics of the rapidly growing plant infected by the tyrant virus, the T-virus, have been reported in previous papers, one of which we read. However, while repeating these experiments, an interesting new fact became clear. We learned that a chemical in the UMB family, UMB number 20, contains a compound that is toxic to the cells of the plant. So, poison. We have given UMB number 20 a new name, V-Jolt. If calculations prove correct, when V-Jolt is applied directly to the root of the plant, the entire plant should be dead within 5 seconds. The V-Jolt can be made simply by mixing the VP and the UMB chemicals in a specific ratio. However, extra care must be taken when handling these chemicals. They've been known to generate toxic gases if mishandled. The characteristics of each UMB chemical are as follows, and you see the list there. These, basically what it's saying here are these are the chemicals that you have to mix together in a specific way to create the V-Jolt, which will kill that plant. And I know what it is, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But basically that's what the document is telling us, that's how we're going to take that plant out. I think you could fight it straight up, just in like a boss fight kind of thing, but we're not going to do that. We're going to mix up the chemical and we're going to do it the easy, smart, efficient way. Alright, now that we read that book, we have the empty space there, we're going to use our red book in its place. The bindings of the book seem to form some kind of pattern. Reorder the books? Yes. And as you see, that obviously it does create a pattern. It's I think it's a woman laying down. Just reorder it until the painting comes together. It's always easiest to start with the feet. Put the feet at the bottom. And I believe this is her hand. Put it up at the top and then just fill in the blanks. It's pretty easy from there. I think we got one more book to move. Move this one down here. And the picture comes together. And we have a secret door open up. Don't go in the door yet. That's where the plant is. So unless you want to fight the plant right now, don't go in that door. We'll be back here in a few minutes. I just wanted to come in here to get rid of the book, to clear up my inventory space. But don't go in that door yet. We'll be back. The chemical room to create the V-Jolt is the one that's locked by the key code I was referencing earlier. It's lock mechanism. We're going to use it. This is where those puzzles and clues that you would have picked up in the spider room would have came into play. The shadows from the candles corresponding with the numbers on the pool balls. It's not worth it. I'm going to tell you the trick to this. Even though it's random through every playthrough, the combination is always going to be some combinations of the number 3, 5, and 6. It's a 3-digit code. The code is always going to use one of those numbers. So it's not even worth spending time trying to figure out the vague clues in the spider room. Just try every combination of the numbers 3, 5, and 6 until you hit it. It doesn't take very long at all. For example, we'll start here. The first thing we'll try is 3, 5, 6. 3, 5, 6. That's not it. So okay, we'll go 3, 6, 5. 3, 6, 5. That's not it. The next one we'll go to is 5 will be the first number, and we'll go 5, 3, 6. 5, 3, 6. That's not it. Go 5, 6, 3. Nope, that's not it. So we know it starts with 6 because that's the only thing we have left with. So we'll start out with 6, 3. We'll go 6, 3, 5. 6, 3, 5. There it is. It's a lot faster than it seems like it. It may have seemed like it took me a little bit to do that here, but that's mostly because I'm yakking. If you just zip through any combination of the numbers 3, 5, and 6, you'll have it within just a few seconds. And don't even worry about trying to figure out those stupid clues. Okay, this is where we're going to mix up the V-Jolt to take care of that plant. First, we want to pick up a few empty bottles. We're going to need at least 3. So just grab, there's several laying around, but just grab 3. Now you'll notice in that document that we picked up, let's see if I could find it. I don't go to files very much. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. There it is. There's all these chemicals are here in the lab that we use to mix it up to make the V-Jolt. And you see here there's numbers corresponding with each one of these chemicals. The red is number 3, the yellow is number 6, the green is number 7. Water is 1. It's not listed here, but if you mix in water with any of those chemicals, the water has a numeric value of 1. Basically, the V-Jolt is 20. So we have to add up these chemicals in a specific order to where we end up with a chemical that's added up to 20. So the first thing we're going to do, and just remember that water is 1. You kind of figure that out as you go along, but water is 1. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix a number 3, which is red, UMB number 3. Take some of that. That's number 3. We're going to mix, you want to mix it with some water. Got the water, and mix it together. And you see now we have a chemical that is numbered 4. Okay, you see how this goes? We're going to keep adding it up until we hit to 20. But you got to do it the right way. If you screw up the chemicals like the document said, sometimes a poisonous gas will erupt and you got to run back out of the room and come back in. But we're up to 4 now. Now what we want to do now is we're going to take that 4 and we're going to mix it with the yellow here. Oops. I'm not trying to carry it. Give me the ding. There we go. Yellow number 6. We'll take some. Mix the yellow number 6 with the 4, and that gives us UMB number 10, which you see is orange. Now what we're going to do now is a little bit different. We're not going to mix that new mixture with anything. Get another vial of yellow number 6. Get a vial of water. And mix the yellow, the new yellow, with the water. We're going to mix this with this, which makes UMB number 7. And now mix this with the orange. So UMB number 7 mixes with UMB number 10 to produce a blue VP number 17 there. Now remember, all we're trying to do is get to 20. V-Jolt is actually 20. You don't know that. There's nothing that really tells you that, but as you're slowly combining these chemicals, eventually you hit it and you're like, oh, okay, there it is. There may be a document somewhere that says that, but I can't remember. I've kind of just memorized that V-Jolt is 20. So now we got UMB number 3 by itself. We mix the VP17 that we've added up along the way here, combine it with the 3, and we've got V-Jolt, which doesn't show us number again, but it's 20. We're adding up slowly chemicals to get to the number 20, and that's it. Now we're going back downstairs where the sharks were. We're going to go in that room I was telling you guys about that was off to the side of the main room, but we didn't want to go in there because I said we didn't have the proper chemical to deal with the plant. Now we do, so that's where we're going to go. Only it'll be a little different this time because we actually drained the water out of that room. So we can't get in there the same way we did last time. We're going to have to go what's kind of the long way to get there. God, I always get turned around in there. And again, you don't have to do this. If you want to just go through that door in room 003 and just fight the thing, you can. But this is just more efficient. And it saves ammo. As you guys remember earlier, we drained the water. So all of our boxes and our little makeshift bridge is gone. So we got to go down this way. Again, this is where I mentioned earlier, there's a little bit of an issue with backtracking in this little section, having to go all the way back down through here. But it's pretty small, all things considered, and it doesn't really take that long. I know Jill's hating going down that ladder again, though. Gotta run around. Okay, gonna go in this door. This should lead us back out to the hallway where that control room is, where we lowered those blast doors on the windows. Yep, back up the ladder. And out this door. And here we are, back out here again where the sharks were. Let's go ahead and put him out of his misery. Of course, I'm just saying that to be nice. I just like shooting the stupid shark because I hate it. This is the door I was talking about. Again, when there's water here and sharks, don't even bother going here until you got the V-Jolt. And this is the room that the document was talking about where It was reaching down into the basement, the roots. Just kind of run up to the roots there and use the V-jolt. Tasty. Tasty. Yes. Roots are dead. You probably don't need the bottle anymore. Throw it away. Yes. And it says bottle, but it actually gets rid of all your bottles, so it's neat. Now we're done. Now we get to backtrack one more time to go back up to room 003. Down the ladder. Oops. This way. Down the stairs and out the door. I wonder how many self-defense items I have. Looks like I've got like a ton. Looks like she's wearing a stun gun on her belt, but I know I have some defensive daggers too. I can't remember if she will use the defensive weapons on anything. I think she would use them on a dog. If you get attacked by a dog and you get knocked down and they're like sitting on your chest, like trying to attack you, I think she'll hit them up with a knife or a stun gun, but that hasn't happened to me yet, and I don't recall. But I have that picture in my head for some reason. So I'm either crazy, which is entirely possible, or she can use it on the dog sometimes. Just curious how many I have. I have a bunch. Back out. Now we're done with the basement area. Putting a zombie right there in the hallway around that blind spot in that corner would be a great place to scare the crap out of somebody. Can't believe they missed that. Seems like that would be the perfect place. Because that's the perfect spot to put things like that, because when you get accustomed to running back and forth in the same areas with no enemies, when suddenly there's an enemy there, that's when it's really effective. Just to let you guys know why I didn't mess with this door, you can't get in it. It's blocked from the other side. The plant is in that room, and like that document said earlier, when it's sleeping or in defense mode, it'll actually use its roots to block a door to keep people from getting at it. This is what they're talking about. So that's why we're kind of doing a roundabout way to get in there. The main door there is locked. Although I believe Chris can get in that door in his game, I think. Don't quote me on that though. But we're gonna go this way. And now that we took care of the roots, this encounter, is nothing really. Alright, in we go. Ugh, nasty looking. Looks like it unblocked the door at least. Uh-oh. Not quite dead enough.
What the hell is this thing?
Barry!
Jill!
Help, man. Help, damn you. There we go. Ouch.
I thought it was finished.
Yeah.
That was close. Thanks again.
Don't mention it.
Hey, the subtitles didn't say again. It
What
just said
was
thanks.
that? What the hell's going on in this place?
Hijinks and shenanigans, Barry. Alright, run over to the fireplace and grab the mansion key. This is the last major mansion key, if I'm not mistaken. It is the helmet key. Go holler at Barry right quick.
Barry,
Something about that mansion still bothers me. but I think I'll stay here a little longer. We should split up again and investigate.
All right.
Alright, let's continue our investigation, even though we never get together to speak about what the hell we found. I guess they did a little bit back in the bee room or moth room, whatever that was, where we put the fish hooks on the bee specimens. I guess they spoke a little bit, but damn, they need to sit down and have a cup of coffee and huddle up on this shit. A lot of stuff has happened. Alright, let's head back out. Uh-oh.
Wesker.
Wesker.
So you're safe.
That's what I was going to say.
I apologize. It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
I understand. Anyway, it's good that you're safe.
Did you notice? Barry, he sounded a little flaky.
Now that you mention it, yeah. I'll keep a close eye.
Maybe it's quite natural under these circumstances. It's not really our standard operation. Jill, our first priority is to get out of here.
I agree.
There are still rooms in that mansion we can't get into because they're locked up. I've been looking for ways to...
Okay, if there's anything, I'll go back to the other mansion.
I'm counting on you.
So there's Wesker. Stomp on these bees on the ground there. Smash. Just one more. Can I get him? Come on, where are you at? Come on. I can't step on that one. Oh well. Oh, there we go. So there's Wesker. He's been gone since the very beginning of the first video in the lobby when we first got to the mansion. Looks like he's still bumming around. Flying back over here. Gonna hit this save room here. The first one. It's the first one when we first came in the building. And we're gonna call it right there. That is the end of the residence. Gonna drop off a few things with the start of the next video and go back with the helmet key so we can open the last few doors. I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of nasty little surprises waiting for us when we get back to the mansion. But we'll hit that one up next time. Again, thanks everybody for watching. If you liked the video, comment, like, subscribe to the channel so you can catch all the videos. I put out new stuff all the time. And share with anybody you think may be interested. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care.